just a little bit wider than hip distance. Let's see. Oh, good. Yeah, mindful eating. Oh, yeah. This was a fun one. I've been working on a mindful eating workshop for a while, and it's not for, well, I can tell you more about that later. So coming into a nice grounded standing pose, feeling the earth between your toes. So I enjoy doing this class barefoot. You do not need to be barefoot for the class, but I find that there's a groundedness that comes effortlessly more with the feet in connection to the earth and to the floor, whatever space that you're in. And so while we're here with the feet, we're going to bring the web of the index finger and thumb. It's the two dragons that come together. So the two dragon mouths connect, and we place those dragon mouths over the dantian, the lower dantian, which is about 2 to 3 inches below your belly button. And standing here in a place of grounded energy, and as your feet are connecting here, softening the knees and softening the pelvis, so a little bit of a rock in the pelvis so you can feel that freedom in the low back, as if I just added a weight to your tail, and the tailbone is drawing down, so you're relieving any of that tension. Again, there's a buoyancy in the knees, and as you breathe in, inhaling to squeeze the dantian, squeezing the pelvic floor muscles, and as you exhale, relaxing them. So you're, as if you're drawing in, as you inhale, you're drawing in the lower floor, and feel that, literally, that grounded earth energy coming up through your feet, like your feet have suction cups and they're suctioning up that earth energy. So there's that squeezing of the dantian, squeezing of the perineal area. The sphincter draws up, the area of the bladder. So this is where the energy is harnessed. This is where the energy originates from and also collects into. Still keeping that buoyancy in the knees. Tuning into the life force energy of the breath. Just observing how the breath moves in and through your body. Softly through the nose and out through the nose. So the cool air moves into the lungs, filtered through the nose hairs, and warm air moves out of the body, feeling an awareness of that temperature change. You feel yourself growing taller throughout the spine. The crown of the head now lengthens out like you're unfurling an imaginary luminous cord of energy, a golden cord. So this golden cord grounds you down from the tailbone down to the earth, but then up through the spine, the spinal cord, and out through the crown of the head. So something being grounded from the top, from sky energy or heavenly chi. So from heavenly chi being drawn up and from earth chi being drawn down. Feeling those polar energies working their way into your body, into your breath. Coming into a state of stillness. This present stillness, present awareness. And then releasing the hands gently by your sides, and we'll begin rotating chin to chest and rotating the neck in one direction. And if you're counting, we're doing roughly 10 circles in this direction. mindful of the spiraling being natural, being released of any other muscle tension. So maybe too much too soon, you'll recognize that and back off. Or as you start to open up, expand into the circles and changing the direction. Hands are heavy, lengthening down to the earth. Their knees are still soft. Tailbone is heavy and still feeling heavenly chi drawing the energy up through your spine. Releasing that last circle to come back into center and beginning the shoulders rolling up and back. Big movements here, as if on a machine drawing the piston up and down. It's on this track, this fluid track. Just notice that the hands and the elbows are on the ride. The fingers are soft. There's not tension in the rest of the arm. The arms are able to extend with gravity. Two more circles in this direction. And then switching. So as if you're moving, if you've done exercises in a pool, there's a resistance in a way. This is for carrying and opening up channels of energy that may be blocked. Energy in the form of cellular fluid or nerve endings, whatever it is in the physical form that began in the energetic form. Do 3 more circles here. And then opening up now, we work into the elbows. We're going to let the hands flop with this movement. So the arms open out to the sides, elbows rotating back, and then elbows rotating forward. So see if you can really allow the hands to flop with the elbow and arm. There's a little rotation in the shoulders here as well, but see if your hands can let gravity take them. It's a little subtlety. It's easy to want to control the wrists and the hands. Shoulders down. Tail is long. Chi up to the sky. And then bringing the hands together, interlacing the fingers for some nice ripples of rolling wrists here. And switching the direction. So energy moves in the circles and spirals and figure eights. So tonifying the energy of the bodies to have it soft like water, like swirling and rippling and free-flowing water. And then bringing the hands together. We can bring it at the navel center. This will help the elbows and the shoulders to relax. Taking the thumbs to begin orbiting the thumbs around each other. And the fingertips are all touching as if you're holding a grapefruit. So they're soft. It has a soft roundedness to it, or maybe a large orange. And switching the direction of the thumb. We're going to take each finger here to orbit around, and as you do, softening. So connecting the thumb tips back together, and we'll move into the index finger, rotating around here. And rotating the other way. Moving over now into the third finger. Still keeping that softness of the curve of the fingers naturally relaxed state and switching the direction here. And I'm again doing roughly about 10 circles around for those that like to count what's going on. Moving now to the fourth finger. Oh, might be a little squirrely this morning or always. Its tendon is deeply connected to the other fingers. And so switching the direction, just be mindful of letting go of any tension that maybe that feeling lack of control over the fourth finger. And then connecting fourth finger, last the pinky finger here. So rotating around, soft palms, soft shoulders, soft elbows and tailbone, and switching the direction of those fingers. Lots of typing going on, lots of gripping. We do so much with the hands. This is a wonderful movement for them. So bringing the hands now to the hips, and we're going to begin some nice fun hip circles. You can get as wide and grounded in your legs. Think of the four directions of the hips moving back to the sides and front forward. So smoothing it out, enjoy those pops that happens with the hips. So we bring in new fluid, get nice and free in there. Four. Feet are still like suction cups drawing up the energy, switching now the direction of the flow of the hips. There's a hinging back, hinging forward, being aware of all that happening. Knees are soft here, so no locking out knees too, by the way. Sliding the hands now down to the thighs and beginning some knee circles in one direction. So this is a routine of just circling all the joints in the body. Easy to remember if you know what your joints are, which I think most people do after a few decades. Switching the direction and just circling. This might be something you could add to a morning routine after you brush your teeth or before, while you wait for your coffee to percolate. And then taking your awareness to shift your weight over to one foot, and the free foot, we're going to circle the ankle around in one direction. And that also rolls through the toes. So we got the toe joints and the ankle joint. And there's lots of joints actually in the foot. There's 25% of the bones are found in the feet, and they're suspended in this beautiful web network of tendons that make it just this fluid, dexterous. Let's switch directions now. So we want to free up all the bones being suspended in that pulley system of the feet. Switching over to the other foot and beginning the circling. So the body maintenance, here it is right here. Maintaining the joints, feeling that the energy is moving through these areas that have its own flow, fluid. Spinal fluid has its own cycling, switching the direction. So many cycles in the body. I mean, we have cycles of our digestion, we have cycles of our breath, cycles of sleep, we have cycles of the synovial fluid shifting all the way around the body. Even our sinuses have a a cycle about every 90 minutes, you might notice that you have a dominant nostril. That one nostril now is closed up and the other is a little more open. And so there's a lot of spirals and cycles in the body. And so we're going to move into some of our circles and spirals. So we're going to take the arms out to the sides and then bringing your one palm to face down. Let's say the right palm is going to face down. And then switching the direction of the hands. So the other palm faces up, the opposite faces down. Reaching in opposite directions as the arms spiral. And spiraling even more now. The hands and the shoulders twisting, twisting, twisting and lengthening out here. Like we're wringing the arms, wringing the shoulders, wringing the fluid in the muscles that connect to the bone. Bringing the hands now by your sides, coming into a little squat. And then having your right shoulder start to dip forward. We're going to take this in chapters of the spine. So you're rotating your low back to start, and then rotating the lower middle back, upper back, and then finally the neck looking over the left shoulder. So the right is dipping forward and then switching to the other side, coming back center. Allow the neck to be the last thing. So we're dipping the left shoulder forward. It's the low part of the spine, upper middle spine, and then finally the upper back and the neck. Coming back to center and switching directions again. So spiraling, being aware of the ripple through the spine, and enjoy those pops if anybody's getting a nice pop. If your bones in the vertebra are free enough to release their air compression, I hope they're enjoying that. We'll do it one more time each side. So rotating low back, middle back, upper back, and cervical spine. The neck last time. Left shoulder forward. And coming back to center. Arms out to the sides. We cross the right arm in front of the body, left arm behind the back. I'm going to take this slow so you can see the pattern. Arms front, face, and then switching the other arm to about shoulder level, no more than that. And then here. So you want to have soft knees, a nice wide stance. Inhale as you come center. Exhale as you twist the body and the arms float up. Inhale, exhale. So as you reach across the body, notice that the same energy is required to reach behind the body, or is begging to have or has a need for that balance. So as you reach forward, reach with the same intensity behind you. This can be done at your own pace. You do not need to increase. If it does not feel good, start to feel a little lightheaded, a little too much chi coming in, then take a moment to relax and go slower here. Start to feel that buoyancy, relaxing more into a freedom with the arms. And slowing it down, coming back to center. And from there, we'll do the knocking on the door of life. I need to move my little microphone off to the side here. So this is a rotating from side to side. Notice how the arms are passive and the rotation comes from the lower dantian. So it's as if that lower dantian is rotating the hips, and with the rotation, the force and the inertia of that draws the arms in that direction. So grounding the feet a little wider than hip distance as you knock on the door of life. And that knocking happens at the dantian as the arm hits in the front, and the knocking happens at the back where the low spine is, which is the door of life. So this can, again, go at your own pace and have fun with these arms going flopping side to side. So bending at the elbows, feeling the arms, knocking on the low door of life. We're going to knock on the door of life at the top now where the lungs and the heart are. So be gentle to yourself. The hand's going to come across the chest. So there's a gentle tapping at the area of the lungs and the heart. And you want to still continue to feel the lower dantian is drawing the energy from side to side. And slowing it down, and we'll take it to the heart, and we're going to knock on the door of the heart. So some tapping in the area of the sternum, out towards the armpits, the lung points, the collarbones, just underneath the collarbone, the kidney meridians. So in the area right here, the breastbone, so the thymus, the gland that sits like a little hat on top of the heart. That's where a lot of our immune is stimulated. So we can kind of get a little stimulation. Hello, heart. We're going to take the tapping now right underneath the xiphoid, which is right where the ribs kind of make that U shape, and then underneath the ribs, making little claws with your fingers to claw under there gently. Sore spots mean that you're going to really enjoy this. Your body's got something it's working on. So soreness is not a bad thing, but it is an indication that a good pressing in, it's going to move around some chi that might be stagnant. Working the hands now to the sides. If you just bend your elbows and tap your fingertips, wherever they tap is just right. And we're going to tap right there. Again, soreness. Feel for that soreness. And we're going to take the hands now, little bitty taps on now the kidney area. So knocking again on the door of life here in the kidney area. So and coming around now into the abdomen, around the belly button, knocking, waking up the organs, moving the chi. And then right at the lower pubis bone on the inner thighs. Oh yeah, waking up. And we're going to go all the way down the inner seam of the legs and around the foot, up the back of the legs, up the sides of the body, and we'll do armpit, inner seam of the arm, whichever arm that you went up, switching to the other side. So that armpit, smacking the armpit, known as the Prozac point. And ending with the shoulders, and we're gonna let the hands shake together and shake off all of that. So feeling energized, I hope so. We're going to do a little bit of full body flow. So starting to take your arms up in the air, get some space so you can see. And then as you exhale, taking the hands down through the body, rounding down like a rag doll all the way to the earth. Legs are wide here. And then we're going to slowly begin to scoop and round up. As you round up, the arms come up. And then exhale, washing down through the body, rounding down. Ragdoll to the earth. Once you reach the earth, rounding back up. One more time, washing the heavens. Heavenly chi comes down, rounding through. And as you stay here to the earth, stay right here, opening the legs nice and wide for a nice wide angle. And hanging here, dangling in a wide angle pose. Soft knees, nodding the head yes and no. Two more breaths on the inhale, squeezing the dantian, lower dantian, aware that life force energy there. Last breath, inhale, squeeze it in. Exhale, letting it out, softly rounding all the way up to standing. All right. All right, so we're going to go into the little bit of teacups. So we've done some opening of the joints, and so this will be an extension of that. And I'm going to describe it to you slowly, so if you've never done teacups before, you can enjoy it without getting too confused. So you want to have a good, nice, open stance. And we're going to start with the right hand, so having your left hand on your hip or even on your thigh or on your low back if you feel you may need a little low back support, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And we're going to serve some tea. So the right hand is extended forward, and I just want you to feel from side to side. So this will be just the beginning portion. And as you shift from side to side, notice that you're also going to be shifting the weight of your legs. So you want to have soft knees, like you're grounding and rooting down, so you're kind of sinking into your legs. And as you serve that tea or tray, the hand is always going to be pointing up towards the sky energy or heavenly chi. So this is probably pretty doable, but I want you to feel the groundedness in your legs, because you're going to need to have a good gripping into the earth. So now we're going to take that right hand out to the right and back behind you. Keep your gaze on that. So now we extend that circle in front and then all the way behind you. In front, keeping your eye on that soft tray right behind you. Across the body, shift the weight, looking behind you. From that point, the circles will go around and behind. And now we bring that tray up to the ceiling, around over to the left. The palm is facing up the whole time because we don't want to drop that tray. And then the tray comes back around here. So that was kind of quick. Let's do that again. So you're going to go across the body, spin it around to the back of you, and as you go back, it's going to come up. There's a back bending and leaning back that happens, and spiral it over to the left, across the body again, this time tray pointing up, arm, and we bring it back around the elbow. So we're going to do that a few times here. Around, behind, spiraling up and across, underneath the elbow. Here we go. And around. And if it fancies you, you can actually put some kind of object. I wouldn't put a breakable object, but maybe an orange or some type of plate or something that it would stay heavy enough that you could hold that. Probably an orange or an apple or something would be just perfect. And rotating this around. One more time, and then we'll switch to the opposite direction. So actually, we'll do the opposite arm before we do the opposite direction here. So hand comes to the thigh, grounding it onto the thigh. And we'll move left arm this time. And let's just shift from side to side. Let's gradually build this one the same way we built on the opposite. Gradually getting a little bit wider. So you shift your weight and looking behind you. Dantian, lower dantian is drawn up. The energy is coming up from the feet, and you're still feeling the energy drawing the crown of the head up. So now the hand comes back, up and around, lunging over. We come back around the body, the arm spiraling. Now we underneath the elbow, and we'll do that again. So we serve the tea around. All right. And around. So this is a hinging in the hips. Back and around. Spiraling at the elbow. How do you feel? Could you do both arms at the same time? A mirror of themselves. We can try that. So this is going to be both arms opening out, leaning back, bringing it up, bringing the tray around, bending at the elbows here. I really want to get an orange for this next time. I think my plate might be falling tiny bit here. Back and around, up to heavenly chi, spiraling and bringing it in. So serving the tea, back and around. Heaven gets a piece, spiraling back. All right, nice. Bringing the hands to the dantian. It's taking a moment to take that in. I think we'll let that settle. We'll do the reverse in a moment here. So teacup reverse. The right hand is now going to go underneath. And we go across the body, arm rotates around and back. And we end the way we began. Cross the body, spiral the elbow under. Rotating the arm, hand facing up, spiral around. Take it from behind and in front of the body. One more time, spiral the elbow under the body, around and back center. We'll do that with the left arm. So the left arm first starts rotating under and coming around. Good, hand pointing up. And again, elbow rotating that arm. Rotating and around. We'll try it with both. So both arms rotating first in. Arms reaching up and back and coming around. So we rotate under, in, forward, around, and back. One more time, rotating under and around and back center. Okay, bringing the hands at dantian. And we're going to shake like a tree. So letting the arms and the knees be soft underneath the hips. Shaking the leaves of the tree here. So the only thing you have to do is bounce from the knees and let everything else bounce along with it. The head, the arms, the hands. all the flesh relaxing here. Don't worry about any sounds or any sensations that might you think feels a little odd. Just let the energy and the chi shake off. Shaking out any old energy, shaking off any of the tension. This is powerful, so simple and powerful. People might wonder what you're doing if you did this in a public place, but I think we could probably teach this to students and find that they have the ability to take a test better, possibly. So, shaking the tree, shaking off the energy of anxiety, tension, and stress. And going into the Tai Chi opening, feet about hip distance, and the palms of the hands are going to lift up in front of you just to about the shoulder distance, and then slowly float down by your sides. Floating the arms up nice and soft. And as you float the arms, you could sink into your tail, and exhale as the arms come back. You'll sit a little taller, stand a little taller. Inhale, arms floating up, and exhaling down. Find your groove here. Again, like you're moving through a resistant substance. So water is a good example. Most everybody has been in a body of water where if you were to move your hands, there's that resistance here. Notice the arms moving at the same or balanced tempo, watching your hands balancing left and right. Maybe you have a hand that extends a little longer than the other or moves a little quicker. So find the balance, extend both arms out, moving in tandem. So we're going to move now into the 6 directions. So the first direction is to lift up the hands to the heart center. From the heart center, pressing the palms in front of you, pushing forward. Rotating the palms and drawing the energy back to the middle dantian, to the heart. And then pushing the hands out to the sides, fingertips pointing up, rotating the hands and drawing back to center. And then floating the palms down to the earth. So earth energy. Flip the palms, drawing up to the heart center, sky energy. Taking that to the world through the heart, drawing that mirror reflection back to your heart. Out to the sides, palms facing up. And drawing that energy back into center. Palms to the earth and lowering down, sinking down earth. Inhale up. Exhale out in front. Inhale energy in the back. Exhale out to the sides, to the polars. Inhale to the opposite. And floating down to earth. So flipping the palms here, moving into Buddha, holding the heavens. So the palms are at the dantian area. Arms are soft and round. There's space in between the armpits, like you've got little golf balls or an egg that you don't want to crush. So we take a nice soft arms, palms facing up. Inhale the palms through the center, at about center, flipping the palms. And as you're holding up the heavens here, and then coming back down, standing tall, flipping the palms, coming back to the dantian area, standing tall. Inhale up, sinking down. Exhale, holding up the heavens. Inhale and exhale, float the hands down. So movement through meditation. Inhale up, flip, exhale. Inhale, flip, and exhale. So synchronizing the breath with meditation movements creates a sense of peace and stillness and builds the energy here. So enjoy whatever tempo you're doing with your breath. Allow that to be the master, the conductor of your body orchestra. One more round to inhale, squeezing the dantian as you do. Exhale to the heavens. Inhale back to earth. And exhale, pressing down. Softening your knees now, really sinking. And we're going to glide our hands across the water surface, moving into some good watery movements of the fountain. So like that, like a table of water in front of you, and you're just patting that right there. And we're going to use that now as a moment to draw that energy of the water. Backs of the hands come together at the center of your body. And like a fountain spraying out from center out to the sides, back to gloss the water. Gather that energy up, backs of the hands together, rounding through and up. So spending a moment to smooth and then draw that energy of the fountain through your body, sinking. And find your fountain. Inhale. And exhale on the fountain round. So we're going to allow the fountain now to round over and over, gushing through the body. Round, backs of the hands up through the center and out. Sinking and lengthening. Grounding. Going into one arm at a time. So one hand up through center, the other hand up through center. The fountain moving from side to side. One movement of the water out left and right. Here's that shifting of the weight again through the body. And we gather the energy from the bottom. So like you're caressing the waves, caressing the water at the base. And then bringing the hands together at center now. Having that ball of chi right at the dantian area. And feeling a little connection between the fingertips, between the palms. And we're just going to pulse on a ball of chi. So this is just a sensation that there's a connection between the hands. There's that electromagnetic field, whether the body is in physical contact or not. There's an energetic contact that's moving out and flowing through and in constant flux all day long. And here we start to draw the hands a little bit wider on the inhale, exhale to compress. Inhale, expanding your chi ball. Exhale, bringing it back into center. So that sensation again that there's a material in between the hands, as if you were in water, you would be feeling that resistance. So recreating that sense of resistance between, to understand and feel that we also have energetic atmosphere around us, ever changing and always can be called upon to give us more life force energy should we need it, or to circulate that life force energy in its purest form, in its highest potency all through the body, therefore keeping the body in a state of wellness and balance. So the whole movement and practice of this Qigong and the stretching of the body is to be aware of this life force energy that you can wield and spiral and tap and bounce and shake through the body to unearth its power to heal and reconstruct the body in times that it needs it, because it's always something stressful, right? It's always something in life. So this is the insurance for that. And beginning to take that chi ball back to center. And we're going to draw in the chi to all the dantian. So energizing the dantians here. We're going to begin with the low dantian. The right hand is going to, as if it's scooping energy from behind and bringing it into the low dantian. And the left hand will scoop from behind and do that as well. So alternating hand to hand into this lower life force reservoir. Think of it as a safety deposit box or a nice reservoir, something of value right here. This is where your chi, this is where a lot of transformation happens in the body, right? It's the digestion area, the elimination. It's the door of life. And then bringing both hands to the dantian here. Starting to move the hands now up to the middle dantian where the heart space is, and the same idea of collecting that energy from around, from the side and into center. Still the knees soft, tailbone heavy, and the crown of the head is drawing to the sky energy. So the slight tucking in of the chin. Gathering to that middle dantian, now both hands over that middle dantian, tuning into this area. Filling the reservoir of your heart with divine chi, free flowing, good movement, strong chi. We've moved out and tonified quite a bit today. Moving the hands now up to the third eye or right at the forehead, and the same drawing in of that magnificent life force energy around. And this can be touching the body or not. So we are more than our physical skin. We are more than what our eyes can perceive. There's plenty of instruments that can prove there's color that our eyes are unable to see, and our ears, frequencies that our ears are unable to hear. And they do exist whether we can observe them in our natural body. So bringing the hands now to the third eye, this area of seeing the bigger picture and the energy, drawing the energy of a bigger picture for yourself, for this world, for everyone in the world. And we'll pull down heavenly chi and finish with some centering. So lowering the arms by your sides and then gathering the energy up. Exhale, bending at the elbows, washing any residual energy through the body, anything that doesn't vibrate high and clean and in the direction of balanced life force, we're going to wash it from heavenly chi down into the earth to be recycled. Inhale as the arms float up, exhaling as you float down. Feel that connection and polar drawing of the earth and of the heavenly chi. As both hands now float to the dantian. The right arm reaches out from the right. And as if you're drawing a center line with your fingertips pointing up, down through the center to the dantian. And then it activates the other side to begin the centering. Both hands meeting at the dantian and bringing your feet together. Just feeling like a little bamboo in the wind. This nice and soft energy moving through you. Good energy to take throughout the rest of your day. Just smiling now here and this feeling the effects of a good chi workout or a good chi activation and movement through the body. So taking this into the rest of your day